Hello, darlings. I wanted to talk to you guys about emotions and how, as parents, we are the ones teaching our children how to deal with their emotions. So, stop and go back just a little bit. Emotions are energy in motion, right? So when you're feeling something, it should be going through your energy field. And what I mean by that is you need to feel these feels and then let it happen and then let it go, right? So this is a flow thing. It comes in, you feel it, and you let it go. Let it go. That's the key part to that energy in motion, in emotions, okay? When you do not let it go, it gets trapped in your body somewhere, okay? Emotions that are not dealt with, let me say this again, emotions that are not dealt with are trapped in your body somewhere waiting for you to deal with it, right? So like you get stressed, you get it in your shoulders, lower back, wherever you hold stress, that's going to stay there until you deal with it, okay? So when you push through, by God, I'm just gonna buck up and I'm just gonna push through, or like my mom's favorite when I was growing up was, I'll give you a reason to cry. Of course, that made you stop crying immediately. We have a tendency in our society to just eat it and move on. Just be like, nope, I'm just gonna pretend it never happened. You can't do that, because those things that you shoulda, woulda, coulda dealt with are now being stored in your body to be dealt with later. Now, I'll take it one step further beyond that, and that's where disease comes from. Negative emotion stored in your body that is not ever dealt with turns into disease. That is literally where all of your disease starts from. It is an emotional, it is an energy, trapped energy is where all of your disease starts from, okay? So that's why you have to let it flow, because otherwise it gets trapped and it gets stored up and it just keeps building and building and building and building until your body can't deal with it anymore. Certain emotions are trapped in different areas of your body. For instance, lungs and sinuses are where you tend to store depression and grief. So if you don't deal with grief, then you're going to end up long term with sinus and lung issues. And like kidneys are your anger. If you ever have somebody tell you they're dealing with kidney stones, that is literally hardened anger. Okay? So these things create issues down the road if we don't deal with them. Now, what I really wanted to get into on this is that as parents, we are teaching our children how to deal with these issues, okay? So if you have a tendency to put on a happy face and just ignore all of the issues going on around you, what are you teaching your kids? How are your children going to learn how to deal with the bullshit when it's their turn? Your kids are going to learn how to deal with their emotions by watching you. Children watch us. That's how they learn to live this life, to do this thing we called life. They emulate what we do. Now, if we are not flowing through our emotions, and we're not setting the example for our children to show them that this is how this should be done, if we're showing them bottle it up, if we're showing them pretend it never happened, if we're showing them habits that don't teach them how to deal, they're not going to learn how to deal. Now, I'll share a story. When I first got divorced, it was months and months and months before my ex ever shared a dime in child support, and only then it was because it was court ordered. And I had a day where I was crying in my bathroom. I was bawling. I was hysterical, bawling, whatever. My son, who was 13 at the time, comes in, and it freaked him out to see me emotional, because I'd never shown my emotions in front of him before. And then I made the mistake of then never crying in front of him again. So now I'm dealing with a kid who doesn't quite have a solid grasp of how to deal with emotions. He's very much that tough guy where, he's just gonna put on a brave face. He's gonna pretend nothing's wrong. He is 100% not dealing with his emotions because that's what he has been shown. I'm only 2 years into this whole journey thing, so I'm learning, but I have learned already I was not doing it the right way before. I'm not saying, break down and have a nervous breakdown in front of them. I'm not saying, like go overboard and freak them out. There is always an age appropriate level of sharing what's going on. There is always an age level appropriate explanation or way to talk about what's going on. Truly, I think the biggest thing is we have to make sure that our kids know it's okay to cry. It's okay to have emotion. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to be mad. It's energy in motion. It's emotion. It's what you have to do is let it come in, feel the feels, let it do what it's doing, and then let it go. We're failing our kids because we are not teaching them how to deal with their emotions. Now, in our defense, that would be because we were never taught how to deal with our emotions. Our society teaches us nothing about how to deal with our emotions. What our society teaches you is pop a pill. That's not the way to fix anything. We're not popping pills, because popping pills goes the opposite direction of where you want to go. Learning how to let your energy flow. Learning how to allow your emotions to come in, feel them. I mean, that's part of this human experience, guys. We're here for those contrasts. We're here to be able to experience a life that has highs and lows. I mean, that's why we're here. It's not all happy-go-lucky. I kind of fit somewhere between Abraham Hicks and Lori Ladd. Lori Ladd is, no, it's all about the emotions. Abraham Hicks is it's all about the positive vibration. And I kind of feel like I fall somewhere between the two. I'm all about the positive vibration and this, that, and whatever. But I do know that when an emotion comes through that you need to deal with, you need to deal with it by feeling it. You need to let it sit in. You need to feel it. And then you need to let it go. It's that constantly thinking about things and letting it run through your head and run through your head and run through your head and run through your head. That's not letting go. That's, yo, hang out. That's not what we want. We want to let it go. I really feel like we're doing our children a disservice by not setting a good example of how to run through our emotions. I feel like our kids deserve a good example. They deserve to have somebody be able to go, okay, look, this is what's going on. It's okay. Does that make any sense? Is anyone following me here? I feel like we need to do a better job of teaching our children how to cope. And if we can teach them to cope with emotions as they're happening, as opposed to letting them build up, their job at the back end, when they go to heal all of this stuff, is going to be a lot easier. So please feel, and please share it with your kids. Please let your children know that having emotions is so okay, and that there is a way to just like feel it, release it, feel it, release it. Now, we're still working on the feel it and release it thing, but we can start by showing the kids that we have issues too. We have problems. We have things that are bothering us. I think another part to that is we teach the kids empathy when they understand that they're not the only ones who have issues and problems. We teach children to not be little assholes all the time. Little selfish assholes all the time. When you teach them empathy of, yeah, I got issues, I got things going on. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. That's it. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.